Alright, moving on to the next stop. Got some figurines along the side of the road here. It's kind of hard to visualize this one as like I've seen in some of the other battles. Land here is fairly flat. Doesn't seem to be any ridges involved. What's this here? It's a dead end. Hike back there. Let's see. Alright, this is 4. It's very near the visitor center. Starting to sprinkle again. Okay.
Welcome back to the tour.
Shouts of "Give them hell" rose from the Union troops who fought on this ground December 31st, 1862. The Confederates were breaking through the tree line onto this field, and it was the soldiers of the Pioneer Brigade and the Chicago Board of Trade Battery who drove them back. The Pioneer Brigade was a Union Army experiment. 2 of the best soldiers from each infantry company would form this brigade. These men had not trained together, nor had they ever worked together. Yet so desperate was the situation that General Rosecrans had to rely on these engineers to stop the rebel tide. Midday, December 31st, the Confederates attacked Union troops. The Confederates got within 50 yards of the Union line before being repulsed. The Union countercharged, and the line moved forward about a quarter mile to a low ridge, which they had lost earlier in the day. The Chicago Board of Trade Battery fired nearly 1,300 rounds into their attackers during the fight. A Union sergeant of the Pioneer Brigade recalled, "Rebel flag, seen dimly through the smoke and trees, wavered, started forward, and then surged back. Yes, there was no mistake about it. It was going back." The Chicago Board of Trade Battery and the Pioneer Brigade were tested and proved their worth as they held the Nashville Pike.
Okay, I think that's the last stop I'm going to make here. There's another couple of stops on the tour, but you have to go around, and there's a farm across the highway, and do a bunch of looping around, so I'm probably not going to stop at those, but there might be another stop over here before I go out this gate. We'll see. Just not sure. Anyway, there's a national cemetery over here, which is pretty impressive. There might be a stop in there too, so we'll see. And it is starting to rain again. Let's see, headquarters tour route that way. Is that part of the tour? A map here. Let's see, headquarters, National Cemetery. Oh, you gotta hike to that monument. Okay. Let's So we'll just kind of go in the cemetery. I think this is the caretaker's building here. Anyway, this is the Nashville Pike you heard mentioned. This was the main road between Nashville and Murfreesboro back in those days. Murfreesboro just in front of me, just a few miles. This is a national cemetery here. A lot of the bodies are buried here. Lots of stones. There's the railroad right over there, right along this back wall here. I think the little stones are maybe unknowns. Would be my guess. Anyway, a lot of men died here, fighting for what they believed in. I just saw on the news that Congress yesterday passed a bill or something telling them they need to remove Confederate flags from national cemeteries. And I think that's just wrong in so many ways. It's just dishonoring these men who just happen to be fighting for the South. It just does them dishonor, I think. But that's the way the Democrats think. Gotta rewrite history or change it or something. I think they should rename their party Socialist Party. That's pretty much what they are. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox. Well, as you can see, I found myself in a torrential downpour here. I'll be looking for a place to pull over and check the radar. I don't think there's anything too serious going on here. I don't see any wind with it. Find a place to pull over safely. I'm going to do that. Kind of wait this out a little bit. That's starting to lighten up already. I'll still pull over and kind of bring up my radar. See there's any serious cells coming my way. I'm back on Tennessee 96, headed for US 70 again. We gotta go up the road here a ways and catch it. On up to Dykesville, something like that. I'll be spending tonight in western Tennessee and leaving Tennessee for good tomorrow. Tennessee is pretty. Don't mind coming back here in the fall. The leaves are changing. There sure are lots of trees around here. If I do come back this way, it'll probably be in the fall. Let's see, then in 2 days from now, I'll be back to where I was 2 years ago. I made my fall trip to the Ozarks. I'll be in the Ozarks. So it's taken me a week to get back from the East Coast to the Ozarks, which was about as far east as I went 2 years ago. Give you some concept of distances. It's a long way to the Carolinas. Bad now. I just hit a little squall there.